Vanduul Swarm initiated.
Scanning.
People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
All right. What's happening, good people of the internet? Yes. Is this on? I don't know. It's been so long. It's dusty as all hell. This bloody microphone, I can see it right here. Anyway, welcome back to Why It Hurts Games. I figured I'd better get some sort of commentary on this video. I hadn't planned on putting anything on, but I figured I'd better get in, and I'm not going to talk for the duration of this 40 minutes. This 40-minute video, good lord. Plunging right into the deep end again. Look at this, just fresh back here and plunging right into the deep end. Anyway, no, I'm not going to talk for it all. I'll put a snippet, a short comm on the start of this, and then I think we'll play some music. We'll play some Bowie, is what I had planned since the man passed most recently. And whether you dig his music or not, there's no denying the fact that he left his mark on the industry and on the world, you know. Anyway, so, and it seems to fit. There's a few songs that seem to fit really well with the action on screen. Well, with what's going on. Anyway, no, I wanted to get in here. I figured I'd better get on here and clear things up. And prove to old Fiji, yes, that it's actually old Hertzy, yes, and not some sort of relative that's working behind the scenes here. That it's Hertzy at the helm. I have returned. I'm back to some degree. Right now, I'm not focusing. I have no plans to dive right into some sort of long drawn out single player walkthrough or let's play again just yet. You know, that may change with time though. Just taking it one video at a time as it currently stands. I would say that the old series, the old let's plays that were left hanging, I don't know if you're going to see any more content with them, because there were a few there that, you know, I mean, while Skyrim was left hanging in the longest, you know. And how far? I mean, I think, where did we leave that off? Somewhere like episode 170 or something like that. Did we make it that far? I don't even know. But yeah, that was the one that was left hanging the longest. Beyond that, there was GTA 5, The Witcher 3, and Batman Arkham Knight. And those are all kind of just up in the air right now. I know that I still have the save games for the three later ones. Skyrim was having some technical issues. I don't know if I'm going to get back to any of them. I don't have any plans, like I said, to dive right into another single player experience just yet for the channel, right? The shorter videos are just a little bit easier to do. I think you'll probably see a little more Battlefront right now, like for that very reason, you know, and maybe some more Star Citizen. I've definitely have an interest in this game here that we're looking at, so you may see more of it. Beyond that, I'm not really sure just yet. It was kind of up in the air. I really didn't know what to say because I don't know. But it was nice to just kind of come back and get something up here on the channel. And have you guys show up, you know, people that, the familiar faces, well, not faces, but the familiar names from many months, many moons ago, you know, people that have supported this channel in the past, you know, and that core group of friends and viewers, it was nice to see, you know. It goes a long way to making my day, you know. How I want to say it is, it's nice to know that you all, that there are some of you out there that can hopefully find a little enjoyment or entertainment in the videos that I have released in the past and continue to as we move forward. And that's also reciprocated, though. You all have to remember that it's nice. It makes my day a little bit better to know that there are people out there who are enjoying that, you know, who are tuning in regularly and wonder where the hell I've been, you know. and are happy to see me back. So, yeah, I don't know. So I don't have a lot of information as far as what you can expect on the channel to come. But there will be something. You know, I have to imagine that it's going to continue. One video at a time, though, right now. And if I do settle into some sort of decide, you know, at some point down the road that I'd like to get into a single-player Let's Play, then you will be the first to know. Yes. But it was nice to see those names come back and check in on that Battlefront, that first Battlefront video. So let's take a look at the game that we're looking at right now. Let's dive into some Star Citizen and discuss it. You know, what is there to say? Well, there's plenty. There's plenty. This game, I'll tell you, it hasn't been on my radar for an extremely long time. But, you know, I don't even know how I came to discover it either. It just... It happened recently, and it seemed so overwhelming. You know, because there's a lot going on with this title. There's a lot that it's promising to be, and there was a lot to kind of sift through and to try and understand what exactly, you know, you're looking to do out there in this MMO universe, this persistent universe. Now, what we're looking at here, it's just some single-player gameplay. It's just a Vanduul Swarm, which basically, it's me against the AI, fending off waves of Vanduul vessels as they come swooping in. And they get progressively more difficult as each wave arrives, you know. So we're only really seeing a slice of what is to come with this title in over the next year and beyond that. But at its core, I would say that Star Citizen is a spaceflight sim, a spaceflight simulator, you know, and it's got FPS elements in there. It's also an FPS shooter. It's also a racer. It's you know, it's also an MMO. It's also got a big budget single player campaign, as far as I understand it, with some great voice actors hired on, including Mark Hamill, you know, Luke Skywalker himself, or perhaps you know him best as the Joker from Batman, the Batman Arkham series of games. We've got Gillian Anderson. We've got Gary Oldman on board. There's Mark Strong. So there's a lot of, you know, big Hollywood names attached to this title, providing voiceover work for the single player game, the single player experience. I think so. Like I said, the spaceflight sim FPS. It's a racer. It's got the single player campaign attached to it. But you know, throughout, it's also got a persistent universe, an MMO. It's an MMO, you know. And that was one of the great appeals to me. Now, I have never been much of an MMO gamer, personally. But when I started to, you know, I kind of like the backdrop of the game. I like the idea of space. I like it being a space flight simulator. I like the idea of FPS and, you know, in zero gravity environments, you know, with wearing a spacesuit with thrusters on my back, you know, and maneuvering my way through these zero grav environments while doing battle with some sucker, you know, a handful of suckers, you know, whatever the case may be. But the MMO was pretty appealing as well, because the more I understood what was happening, and that was really the overwhelming part, because there are different roles that you can take on within this MMO universe. And I guess that's kind of true. That's with MMOs, but I haven't been much of an MMO gamer. You know, when you think of fantasy games like World of Warcraft, you know, you've got your healers and your tanks. I know that much about that type of gameplay. But in this, it's a little different. You know, you have your fighters, you have your explorers, you have your cargo haulers, you have your salvagers, you have your search and rescue, you know, ships. You have there are lots of different specialized ships and classes that can spring up, and that you can and that will allow you to take on a certain role within the universe and play a certain part. And there is a certain responsibility, I think, that comes with that to really make the gameplay great. You know, the players themselves have to have that certain responsibility. You know, they have to be willing to provide their services and information at a cost, of course, to other players. Otherwise, it's just everybody feeding the system rather than, you know, feeding their organization, their friends, their community-driven clans, whatever the case may be. And I think that's where it really becomes interesting, is if people are playing their roles out there, including the pirates, because there is piracy. You know, it's a viable aspect to of the game. That people will be out there just looking to mess with you, just looking to loot your cargo runs, just looking to steal your ship and wreck you and leave you abandoned out there floating in space in the middle of nowhere, you know. So that's I think the beauty of it, was this idea that we could all play these roles within this game, and that was the overwhelming part for me as well, because when you buy a ship, you want to know what you're getting into. You want to have a good idea of what you're planning to do to start with. Now, the vessel we're looking at here, it's the Hornet. It's listed as a fighter. It flies very much like you would imagine a fighter jet, you know. Real maneuverable. Now, the standard Hornet with the kind of the stock weapons attached, I don't find them all that powerful. You know, the missiles on this sucker there's no guidance system to them. You just fire the damn thing, and it just flies, and it doesn't do anything. And it's so hard to hit anything with it, you know. It's so hard to come close to hitting anything with it and timing it out. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. It's those talons. They're shit. They're shit. The blasters, the pair of blasters I have, they feel a little weak, you know, but it's getting the job done. The Hornet, really maneuverable. You know, that's, I think, on display here. At least I hope it is. And I'll tell you, I should talk about the physics. I mean, the game may be incomplete, you know. It may be in an alpha state. But I'll tell you, as far as a space flight simulator goes, the physics attached to this vessel are spectacular. The controls feel so nice, people. I can't even fully describe it. I hope you're sampling it here with what's on display. But just moving across all three axes with your main engines and your boosts and your afterburner, along with the 8 thrusters that I have on the top and bottom of this vessel, it really, once you figure out how to control your vessel, it feels so good. And I started to really, I haven't been playing the game very long, you know, but I started to really feel at home up here in the stars in this ship. It felt really good, you know. But other vessels won't be quite so maneuverable. They won't be outfitted for war. They'll be outfitted for transport. They'll be outfitted for exploration. They'll be outfitted for search and rescue, whatever the case may be. Science vessels, salvage vessels, mining vessels, merchant vessels, and command vessels as well. There are big frigates and multi-crew vessels, you know. So some of these ships get quite large and can house a large crew as well, you know, of real players, you know. So, you know, you think of something like the Javelin or the Idris, I think it's called the Idris frigate. These are 16-man vessels as far as I understand it, you know. So if you've got a clan of friends, an organization of friends that are looking to make your way out there in the universe, well, that could be one option, you know. Get yourself a big frigate. I don't think that they're on sale. I think some of them were sold at some point through pledges. I think that they were quite expensive, and I would imagine that through in-game credits they will be obscenely expensive. It will be very difficult to acquire one of these, but it should be well worth it as a long-term goal, you know. But yeah, it really took a little bit of. I really had to dive into the game first before deciding to make the pledge or purchase for the title, and I just wanted to know what I was getting into. I heard these different jobs that were available, you know, through exploration and merchant work as well, cargo hauling, you know. And I want to understand how it all worked together. So, and once you take a look at some of the vessels, you start to understand, you know, like I would like to specialize in the exploration at some point. Probably going to pick up an second vessel before too long. Looking at the 315P, for those of you familiar with the game. It comes outfitted with a tractor beam. It's not as maneuverable as the Hornet. I doubt the weapons are quite as powerful as the Hornet as well, although I could be wrong. But it's also got the thing that makes it different, that kind of classes it as an exploration vessel, would be the set of sensors that it comes standard with, you know. It comes outfitted with sensors to permit you to be able to detect different jump points that have yet to be discovered, and it allows you to scan planets for valuable resources, etc., etc. At least that's my understanding of what these sensors will do. That information is vital. That information is quite important to the rest of the players in the game world, especially if it's a new jump point. Now, think if you're unfamiliar with what a jump point would be, think of it as like a wormhole. You know, it's I don't know if it's necessarily a wormhole, but it's a point where you can cover a vast distance very quickly, like a warp drive. You know, it's a place where you can trigger a warp drive and jump to, like a fast travel. You know, so finding these points, and there's many of them that are, you know, concealed out there that have yet to be discovered, and that's where the exploration comes in, the exploration aspect of the gameplay. If you find these jump points by mapping the stars and exploring the universe, and that in turn equals credits, you know, because you can sell that to the system. And that information will then become relevant to all the other players in the game. Or if you're a part of an organization, and this is what really appealed to me, is that you can take that information and you can keep it within your organization, at least for a short time anyway, and sell that to people who may have an interest in the area, you know, who may have, like, let's say you discover a jump point to a system that is quite rich in resources, and you've scanned the planets and you discovered all of this. You know, you've got all this information. Not only did you find the jump point, but you have the location of the planet with the valuable resource. But you don't have the means, because you're an exploration vessel. You don't have the means to extract and transport these resources. So then you would go back into your organization, you would find somebody who would have a vested interest in doing this, a cargo hauler, a merchant, a miner, whatever the case may be. And you would sell that information, or provide that information to them, for a sum of credits, you know? And that's how you would make your way in the universe, and you would go off on your way to find another jump point, another system, find a derelict ship or station somewhere that could be salvaged, you know? That would be your point. That would be your purpose. That would be how you would earn credits, and credits would, of course, translate into better gear, upgrades for your ship, better weapons, or power supplies, or shields, or whatever the case may be, and eventually better ships long term, right? Now, the miner, or the cargo hauler, or the merchant would then, you know, enter the area with that information and look to extract those resources and haul them back. Now, the cargo vessels are outfitted to carry large sums of cargo, but that comes at a cost. Maneuverability, speed, I would imagine, is limited, and because I don't know everything, I don't know all the ins and outs of it just yet. I'm still just, some of this is guesswork, so you would have a ship that is somewhat exposed. You know, it's not heavily armed. It's not really greatly maneuver. You know, it's not. It can't maneuver really well, and it can't get away very quickly. But it can haul. It can. You know, it can extract the resources and it can haul them away, and that's how you would earn large sums of money, I would imagine. But of course, you would have to spend a little money to get a little protection to come along with you, some sort of escort in the form of hired muscle, mercenaries, Hornets, fighter pilots. You know, with vessels like the one you're watching right now, to come and watch you flank, watch you back, and join you on this excursion, this endeavor. And that is my idea of what the gameplay would be like in the Persistent universe. That's just a small sample, but that's, I think, the gist of it right there. You know, that's how these specialized classes. It wouldn't just be me see this guy over here, me go kill, you know. Of course, that's the pirate mentality, isn't it? That's the pirate mentality. That's where the piracy comes in, you know. Those people that don't want to be part of those more structured organizations and don't have no interest in just spending time exploring or spending time, you know, hauling cargo and earning money that way, who really just enjoy going out there and getting in their vessel and going out and killing something or tracking somebody down and stealing their loot. Well, the gameplay is there for those players players as well, which I think is great, and it's definitely a viable option. Then there are, of course, other specialized ships like search and rescue vessels for people, and bounty hunter vessels. So if there's renowned pirates, some people that are getting out of hand, you know, maybe griefers or whatever the case may be, people who are crossing a line, taking a little bit too far, or renowned pirates that have really been messing with people, then I think the system will eventually provide a bounty on that person, and bounty hunter vessels will be alerted, you know. Search and rescue vessels will be alerted to people who have been stranded, whose ship was crippled and they were forced to eject and are left stranded out in some system, some god-awful system somewhere, you know, just floating. That's how I imagine it all playing out, and I hope that that's how it all comes together, and that it comes together in a way that is a stable gameplay experience, you know, online. And if it does that, and it does everything else it promises, I think it's going to be just a top-notch title worth the $100 million plus that it raised, you know. So if you're interested in this game, if this is the first you're seeing of it, or you were unsure about it and would like to get in on it, remember it's alpha state right now, but you can go to robertsSpaceIndustries.com. I think that's the website. And for as little as, I think, $45, you can pledge and pick from a handful, a couple of starter ships. You can pledge much more and get much more in your package, but for as little, I think the kind of the bottom line is like $45. You get a starter vessel. You get access to the persistent universe, which is currently in its alpha state, but being updated monthly. And currently, I think you get access, you will get the game Squadron 42, which is the single-player side of things, when it releases. It's still included in game packages to date. That's going to change, though, as the year moves on. There was talk that Squadron 42 will be removed from the game packages, from the pledged game packages. So this may be the best time to get the most bang for your buck. If you're looking to get this game eventually, you may want to pick it up now. You know, that's all I'm saying. I think I listed the right website, but I will add it in the description as well. And I hope to see you out there in the stars at some point. You can look me up, you know, leave a comment, let me know if you have the game and you're looking to do a little gaming down the road. Right now, my connection to the multiplayer universe is a little sketchy, so I haven't spent much time in there, because I just get, more often than not, I get dropped pretty quickly. So yeah, I should probably move on. This ramble's been going on a little bit too long, and I think I'm just going to cut it. But it is good to be back. It is good to see you guys checking in here once again. The state of the channel is moving in some direction. I don't know how much content I'm going to commit to just yet, though. So, you know, just stay tuned. We'll take it one video at a time. And hopefully Fiji is confident that after all of that long-winded ramble, that big rant, that it is definite proof that old Hertzie has returned. Yes. Anyway, much love to you all, and until next time, remember why it hurts. Later.
Spiders from Mars,
Approaching simulation boundary. Zero hostile contacts remaining. Contact. Elite units en route.
But her mommy is yelling no, and her daddy has told her to go. But her friend is nowhere to be seen. Now she walks through her sunken dream to the seat with the clearest view, and she's hooked to the silver screen. But the film is a sad thing for, but she's lived it 10 times or more. She could swim to the eyes of fools, and they ask her to focus on the sailors fighting in the dance hall. Oh man, look at those cavemen go. It's the freakiest show. Because it's the on sale again. See the mice in their million hordes. Shield might be to the Norfolk Broads. But Britannia is out of bounds.
Forward
to
proximity
my mother,
alert.
my dog and clowns. But the film is a sad thing for, 'cause I wrote it 10 times or more. It's about to be written again. And I ask you to focus on the sailors fighting in the dance hall. Oh man, look at those cavemen go. It's the freakiest show. Take a look at the oh man, dreaming of the wrong guy. Oh man, wonder if you'll ever know. This is the best-selling show. This is live on
Targets destroyed.
Elite units eliminated.
Bogey scanning.
Warning. There are multiple hostiles inbound.
Bogey scanning.
Hostiles inbound.
Forward proximity alert.
Taking fire!
Targets destroyed. Shields full.
I got one on me.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary. 0 hostile contacts remaining. Warning. There are multiple hostiles inbound.
Bogey scanning.
Incoming enemy.
Proximity alert. Forward proximity alert. Control.
0 hostile contacts remaining. Contact. Elite units en route.
Bogey scanning.
Hostile
proximity alert.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Shields full.
We passed
Taking fire.
first. We spoke of was and when. Although I wasn't there. He said I was his friend, which gave us some surprise. I spoke into his eyes. I thought you died alone a long, long time ago.
Shields charged. Object destroyed. Proximity alert.
I searched for foreign land for years and years I roamed. I gazed a gazeless stare at all the millions here. We must have died alone a long, long time ago.
Object destroyed. Shields full. Forward proximity alert. Phase off lock.
Status has been revoked. Stand by for reintegration.
Enter aerospace. All systems online. Scanning. Bogey. Bogey. Forward hit. Shields charging. Object destroyed.
Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Ground control
Warning.
to make
There are multiple hostiles inbound.
Shields full. Bogey. Scanning. Bogey. Scanning.
down engines on. Check ignition and may
Player.
God's love be with you.
Forward hit. Forward proximity alert.
This is ground control to Major Tom. You really made me pay.
Shields charging. System is offline. Proximity alert. Ejecting.